This is my semester 2 sketchbook. So I started off doing some drawings from moulage on my dad with my screen prints, and then also drawn my grandma when he was younger wearing like a shirt and collar. I also tried out screen printing striped fabric until I found the one that I was happy with to use for my shirt. I looked at my grandpa's shirts and his wardrobe and just drew from them, as well as his vintage cardigan, which I really liked the pattern on. So this is just how I made my prints. So the base layer of this print is of my grandpa's workshop in halftone, and then the base layer of the second print is of my grandpa but cropped. So I continued design development throughout the semester, just trying to think of new ideas and silhouettes as well as my prints. This is just a few images of my screen printing process as well as my shirt work in progress. So this is just my knit progress as well, just the making of my cardigan on the linking machine and knitting it, as well as screen printing all the different layers as well. Those are just my updated colour chips, and these are just the screen prints for the pocket bags, the trousers that I made. These are additional prints that I used on garments in my lineup, and then I've added an additional head and updated my lineup since last time. And these are just my fabric and knit kind of story, as well as a few trims that I'm going to be using in my final collection. So this is my branding and promotion sketchbook. I decided to screen print my care labels and logo for my garments. I also hand embroidered my brand logo for my shirt, taking inspiration from my grandpa's clothes. So my tins were inspired by my grandpa's tins to create a Miko repair kit for the brand. And this is just the trial and error of swing tags. The one that I've just held up is the one that I'm going with, so the wood effect paper I really like. And that's also my mending yarn templates that I'm going to be putting into my tins. So these are just a few behind the scene Polaroids from a few of my photo shoots. And then these are my contact sheets from all of my photo shoots so far. So this is my knit process book. So starting off, I looked at inspiration from my grandpa's photos of him and his dad's wearing a knitted vest, which I liked. And then also looked at his vintage cardigan and liking the colourways. I liked how blue and red were a main feature of this cardigan as well. And then I've just added some photos of the process of making the cardigan. So this is just my tech pack for my cardigan, just breaking down the details and important things that I needed to know before knitting. So this is my tension sample for both the ribbed knit and also tuck stitch knit, as well as the button that I decided to use for my cardigan. I chose it because it had a fleck of like light blue in it, which matches my knit. And then this is just the process of knitting my cardigan. So I knitted the sleeves first, then the back, then the front, linking them all together, and just working out how to correctly fashion the garment as well. And then this is just the final look. This is the final cardigan on the stand, as well as being in my grandpa's garage. And then I moved on to knitting a tie inspired by my grandpa always wearing ties throughout his life. And then this is just taken from my flat drawn from a tie, looking at the tuck stitch, as well as my tension sample and colour choice of yarn. The colours that I decided to use for my tie were actually inspired by cyanotypes that I did at the start of the year. And then this is just the process of knitting my tie and it in situ. So this is just a trial and error area of the book, looking at knits that didn't work out and the reasons why. So this one here, I bought yarn and it really changed the texture of the yarn as well as the feel, and then it's also patchy, which I didn't really like. So I decided to take different yarns out, trying to get back to that kind of stretchy, looser feeling knit. Again, both these samples were both patchy looking and not very uniform, which I wasn't very keen on, so I kept playing around with different types. And just by threading one of the yarns through a different hole, made it much more uniform and more like the sample that I looked at in semester 1. So this was mohair, the purple, which I really liked the feel of and also the look. So I decided to order a light blue in the mohair, and then this is my final sample, which I was really happy with, which I went forward and knitted my cardigan in.